Okay, the last place we got up is, whoops, Ravina Featherheart's place. Now, I know for sure we visited this last year, and I'm determined to get it all in one go because last time I missed the bunker house unintentionally, of course, and had to retour it just to show the bunker, but I'm going to try and remember to get up to all of it today. So we start off with a really lovely little setting. I mean, anytime folks can figure out clever ways of hiding their teleport pad, it's great in my eyes because I know how much trouble it can be to do that. So when folks manage it and it makes it look like it, it just came that way, that's a big plus on them. Ravinas use mostly the snow-covered rocks. There's a little bit of like the tops of trees, I think, for like here for the bushes, like snow-covered bushes and stuff. Same way with like here, putting it on the fence, the gate. They've added the little trees with snow topping to make it look like there's snow topping on top of the pillars. And then again, they too have like a cobblestone path. And it's just, I presume, the gray stones just scattered around. And so you come up on the first little building of the village. Very cute. Again, I'm not really good with designing buildings, so being able to check out how each person approaches it, what pieces do they use. I mean, like this doesn't look like a triangle piece. It looks like a square piece that's been turned on its side to accommodate that triangle section. That's why the boards are slanted. But like the framework is Draken pillars, and they got Draken walls, exile walls for the roof, a little chimney, and then they've added the smoke in. They're using the cellar entrance as an actual cellar entrance, but then they top it with picnic tables, the reinforced ones, to make it look like it's covered with doors. Here you have a little pile of logs, and using one of the, I don't know, serrated butcher knives or something as the axe, using the back of one of the mounted heads for the chopping block. And again, making sure to add in snow so that it looks like it's been piled up. Hey, Linkar, glad you could join. So inside you have the kitchen, which they've only made like their homemade pantry shelf. It's just 2x4s, very simple but very cute and effective. And same way with their little fireplace. It's just again one of the Draken walls, some pillars, exile walls for the rest. Looks like a little bit of a curved one there. And that's where you get the smoke effect for the chimney outside, the witch's brew or the skeech cauldron, whichever it is. I think it's is it the skeech one that's green and the witch's brew that's black? Or the cauldron? I think it's that way. The smoke goes straight through, so it made sense to have the chimney right there. And then, of course, the little bedroom. Excuse me. Getting all choked up. I'll be glad when they add more meats, and I would prefer them to add cooked meats. We've got a lot of raw stuff. We've got the raw ash hen, the raw steak, the raw marbled meat. I'd like more cooked meats, like that succulent pig platter and stuff. Both burnt and unburnt. Over here you can see they kind of dressed up the little Hugel statues by giving some of them those spooky eyes from the Shades Eve event. Again, making sure to top them all with little clumps of snow. I presume most of them are probably like snow-topped trees. I got a hair in my mouth or something. I'm like eating my hair. Ultra rare. No, see, that's just pretty disgusting. I'm one of those that uh, I don't just want mine well done. I want mine like overdone, like burnt almost. I tell, usually if a waiter comes and asks me how do I want to say, I say, I want it to where it's like I'm chewing on leather because I like mine like really done. I have a very rough time of it with, you know, stuff that's not cooked all the way. Yeah, it's not supposed to be pink. It's not supposed to be oozing or anything. So here's again another one of those feet in the snow thing. Somebody had a little accident, plopped themselves in there. But this comes up on the main house. Again, they've topped it with little bits of snow, got some icicles coming down, but it matches the kind of look of the little house up here. They're using the Draken materials, both the pillars and the walls, keeping the buildings pretty uniform. Again, that helps tie it in, especially if you have them spread throughout the plot. Like you have this little one here, and you've got another one over there, and I see some others in the back. It's really good to help tie those in. It's nothing wrong with making different types. There's lots of towns that have that as well. But for some of these, I don't know, I think it's for like the older type villages. I think it's more common that they match. Maybe some are one level and others are two level. Change it up that way, but I think for the most part, they tend to prefer them looking the same. Because you would expect that the buildings would all be using the same materials for one. Not like they could just whip it out however they wanted. So this is like the tavern, and I think the upstairs is like the inn where they have different rooms. So we're going to check the rooms out first. So yeah, you have like a little main bedroom, a little office space. Again, these are filled, these come empty. So while these look nice, I have more appreciation for these because they actually had to fill them themselves. So it's always fun to look at what they used, what they considered representative. See, these all come filled. So does this one. But it's a nice little study. Here's another little bedroom you can rent. I like how they added the backpack and stuff. He's like a hiker. He's got his rolled up sleeping bag and everything. He's ready to go. Here's an Orin themed one. They too have their little stuff ready to go. And the last room, a little bit more luxurious, roomy. I'm just going to be rude and leave all the doors open. This just helps me remember where I've been. Okay, notice all the tables. These are those brown tables that you get in like your little starter decor kit. It actually has really tall legs. Most of us kind of always sink it down so that you don't see those because it just looks kind of like a weird. It looks like it wanted to be a stool and turned into a table. It's just too tall. Some people use it for like setting their statues or something on, but it looks really wobbly because the legs are like toothpicks. So I much prefer when people use it like this. They've just pushed it down so you just see the very top parts. and it looks much better as a table that way, in my opinion. But you can see they've decorated the walls with lots of little boss heads and things. They're trophies. I love the little fireplace here. Again, it's just Draken bits, some curved walls for the chimney part, and then really cleaned it up with nice use of the granite pillars and 2x4s just to line it up. Not sure what they're using for the fire. I presume it's either an actual campfire or maybe it's the burning track, but it looks like thorny logs for the wood. And then if you are very observant, which I wasn't the last time we visited this place, but if you're observant, you'll see that there's actual entrance to the bunker house from here. Now this is probably one of my favorite sneaky ways of disguising that there's actually more going on here than you immediately see. It looks like just a wine cellar. So you've got like you see the back of a bar, and then they've got these little pillared and 2x4 shelves, and they've just got tons of bottles on it. And you see the kegs and the crates and a lot of the bundles and stuff, and you're thinking, wow, there's really not a whole lot here. But if you're observant and take a little bit of an extra look, you'll discover that there's actually a little hidey hole back here. They've just layered it up nicely where it just blends. So if you're not paying attention, you won't even notice it. You can kind of see the line right there. Just a little bit. It's a little tricky. But I love that someone found a way to put in a little hidey hole there. So then you come into this place. It looks very posh looking. Got the bathroom. They're just using, it looks like, I suspect, one or two travel posters for the back, and then covered that with a little bit of glass, layered glass. Just put 2 or 3 layers just to get a little bit frosted up on the edges. And that's the vanity mirror. It's exile walls for the framework of the sink. Just kind of dressing up the plain old bathroom sink a little differently. For the bathroom doors, those are metal tables. And you can see how they've got a pillar and then some colored glass just to kind of dress it up a little bit more. And they actually did a little bit of a nice job of kind of sort of disguising that clunky Plush-O-Matic 5000 or whatever it's called. They just kind of sunk the majority of it into the wall. They've got the bowl showing, and then they've added a little bottom to make it look like it's not just hovering there. So it's one way to do it. I think most of us prefer to just make our own toilets. But again, if you're kind of pinched for decor, this is a good way to get past it without just having that whole clunky thing showing. For the handles of the doors, I'm honestly not sure what that is. It looks like the back end of the Hugel lamp is what they're using for that. You can kind of see it in there. The little bit of pink of his eyes. Yeah, it's probably one of the best versions of just using the standard toilet. Myself, I probably would have still tried to figure out a way to hide this part and just left it this. But, you know, to each their own. So we have a lot vendor tending the apple cart, and then we've got one of the clunky fire extinguishers being used as an aquarium. So there's lots of the little sunfish and sharks swimming around in there. Again, if you're going to do an aquarium, uh, definitely go for animated type grasses and stuff that will help lend some realism to the idea that there's water inside the tank. You can see there's a little bit of movement from both the vent bushes and the other ones, and that helps sell the idea. Doesn't mean every piece has to be movable, but it does help. So here we have a nice little lounge area where they have some more alcoholic beverages and such. You can see that they've got the standard fountain, and they've added a little bit of the waterfalls and then tucked in one of the orange sconces just to kind of brighten up the room, I think. But again, here's a great example of well-handled clutter. These shelves come empty, and they had to put all of these books in. You know, some are actual book piles, but most of these are just loose, and they've put them in themselves. It's nice to see people, you know, the bottles don't have to be perfect. This one's leaning over. This book's leaning over. You know, just little differences like that make it look so much more real. I love that stuff. And of course the fireplace, can't overlook that lovely fireplace. Again, similar idea as the ones before, just executed differently. You've got chua pillars for the accents here. You've got some of that new Osun graded metal for the, I don't know, the fencing part. An arch this time for the front. Staircase lining for the top of it. For the little shield bit, that's one of those mounted heads, who knows which one. It's just the head part is stuck inside the little chimney. So you just see the wooden shield, and then they've tacked on different weapons. See, there's that raw chicken thing. The hen. It's just strange. We have so many raw foods. It's just weird. Okay, let's go this way. So most of this is just the floor of the building, and then they've kind of layered on top of that the exile walls to make it look like red carpet. And then they've added the Cassian walls because that has the extra decal on it. So up here you see more of the exile walls being used as the stairs. And then I'm really honestly not sure what's being used for the white or the kind of glossy strip here. I suspect it's like the Imperium shelves, the Dominion shelves. It's like called a Dominion shelf in your inventory, and then when you move it to your crate, it's called the Imperium shelf, or the other way around. I forget which way. But well, I think all of us were guilty of using it at one point. I know some people still use it just for the little animation on the back, the little golden sparkly bits, using them as hand warmers and that kind of stuff. But I think that's what this is. It looks shiny, but I'm not positive. Kind of clearish. It's not like dark enough to be like the bottom of the gear trophy. Maybe it's just the granite floor. It just looks shiny here. But they're using the the exile walls to make the strip of carpet all the way to the back. And then rows and rows of chua pillow chairs for their theater. How crazy is that? It's a lot of pillows. Now, of course, with Katya's Builder Toolkit, this is easy peasy. You just make one row and then you copy it all the way down. But still, to be able to get that slant and everything. You got the VIP room up here, which we'll be getting to in a little bit. But then you got the stage. Now, generally speaking, if you're going to have something like this, my suggestion is that would be the perfect opportunity to switch it out for whatever season or holiday or whatever's going on. So this would be a great opportunity to switch this up to have a winter scene. But it looks like they've currently got it set for Shades Eve, so there's a lot of Shades Eve decor here. But if you go to the back, you'll come across the ladder that leads you to props room. So you got the place where dude handles all of the stage works, switching out things, that kind of stuff. And you come back here, and this is all the props, where all the decor would be switched out, stored for the next round. You got the dressing room here for the actors and actresses. So you got like the makeup table. Again, the mirror, I think, is just travel posters with layered glass on top. And they have different bowls and bottles for their makeups and stuff. Over here is the wardrobe, and they're just using towels, banners, drapes, and everything for different kinds of clothing. Now that we have access to the color shifting, I think that will be a lot easier for some to be able to change those white curtains into a pink curtain to make different kinds of clothing. Same way with the towels. I saw someone asking for folded shirts, so I'm sure that's another idea. Having different kinds of folded shirts and make up some kind of a boutique or whatever for their clothing. Lots of the, I would assume even the beach towels and stuff from the summer decor set could be altered to make it look differently. Even the sleeping bags, the rolled one that a lot of people like to use as like rolled towels in their bathroom and stuff, that could be changed up. There's a lot of possibilities. But again, many are finding that the cost of the color shifting is pretty high, considering how often we might want to change up things. So I don't know how frequently people are going to use them, but it's available if you want. I mean, like, we've had white plates forever. Now we can have different colored plates. So it's a good thing, but it comes with a price, obviously. So here's the VIP room, a little bird's eye view of the stage and the peons down below. You can raise your wine glass to them and say, "Ha ha, I'm up here." And of course, you can get to it from this direction as well. It's a very cute use of the bunker house. We've seen several theaters in our time, and this is one of the better executed, I think. But definitely, this is a fun way of kind of, people might come down here and go, "Oh, it's just a wine cellar," and boop, back out, and not even notice that that whole area is back there. So now you guys know the secret. Okay, so back outside. Let's go this way. You got the Wishing Well Fab Kit. You've got the Survivalist Fab Kit. Fits in really nice with this particular little collection of homes. Got a little trap thing here. Looks like a little cave. Little hunter's cave. Good place to use corpses if you have a few spare ones. Wow, they just got a whole bunch back here, all kinds of trapped animals and stuff. Yeah, it really is. It was a great theater. And a nice surprise considering the theme of the plot. It's not, I don't think many people would expect a theater on this particular one. So it's a good surprise. Whoops, ran into something. Some of these trees have some weird collision. So you like get stuck on nothing. So I like the lumberjack here. It's a combination of the, I think it's the extractor, the ichthyon extractor or whatever. It looks like a little crab thing, and it's got that animation of the dirt and rocks coming out. And they've got that hidden up under there. Because I think no matter how small you make that thing, the animation is always the same size. And then they're using one of the welders to make it look like they're trying to chop down the tree. Thought that was a clever use of decor there. Dang it, run into the tree again. So again, we have another one of these little houses. You got the Draken walls, Draken bits here, exile toppers, Draken pillars. And this is like the woodsman's or huntsman's house, because it's got like all of his trophies on the wall. Got like a map of the property and all of that kind of stuff. And all the monies he's got from capturing his prey. And they do have a biome here. I think that's for yeah, northern wastes, which is kind of a winter area, so it fits. And then they've got the ice pond as well. Because again, you know, if you're looking for winter style fab kits, definitely go with the ice pond. There's a couple of the ones like the snowball fight one. It's relatively new. The Far Trader fab kit, the refugee something or other. There's a lot of variety now that we didn't have before that you can use. That's if you're determined to use some fab kits to add a little extra. So here's a barn for the WildStar herd. You can see it's also kind of using the same materials, the Draken walls for most of it. Using some 2x4s for the doors. They even have that little Z shape going on. And then the exile walls for the roof. And this one is, again, is expressly made to look like a barn roof. And it's covering another fab kit. It's the crafting station, I think. But a super clever way of hiding it. Makes it look like it belongs. Doesn't stand out too terribly. You've got all of the little WildStar plushies. You know, a lot of people were fussing because we didn't have too many of the like animal NPCs. But you know, those of us that kind of thought outside the box, the plushies work just as well. So yeah, we don't have WildStar creatures NPCs yet, but these work just as fine for kind of the same thing. They're not animated or whatever, but it still works. One tip, the best way to kind of know about proportions or sizes is just go out into the actual game world and kind of stand next to a WildStar and see about where they meet up on your character, and that gives you an idea of how to realistically size it, so you don't have like this giant or too small or whatever. It's just kind of, these are about right, I think. Obviously the plushies, you know, are a little cartoonified version of it, but still works. A little bit of a garden area here. And then another building next to the barn. So maybe it's the farmer's house, the one that tends the WildStar. Got his little laundry room going here. And then we have this other little house here. Just kind of nicely fenced off from the rest. It's just a faux house, but it's still cute. Just like a giant 2x4 for the door. And looks like a hammer maybe for the handle. I'm not sure about that. But maybe it's, you know, the school teacher's house or something. Who knows? An electric sheep. Only you, Bones, would do that. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's a way to get up here. Looks like they've set in a lot of lights around here. I don't know if that's just to give it a little bit of a glow, just to make it ethereal looking, or if there's actually something inside this building. Here's a good overall shot of the property and all the buildings that it entails. I think we've been to all of them except this one over here. Now this over here, that's where the cave was for the hunters. So I'm wondering if there's another cave around here that I'm missing. Doesn't look like it, but I certainly don't want to forget it. So again, another good shot of the landscaping. Again, it's mostly just snow-covered rocks. Just carefully placed, oversized, layered up. So here we come to the church grounds. Now, before, where they had the sandbags being used as like the freshly dug graves, here they've kept it snow-related, so it's little snow piles to make it look like fresh graves. Again, little touches like this, adding that extra little bit of snow to make it look like it's piled up around the statue. It's nice touches. It's little things that a lot of people don't think about adding, and it really makes a big difference. So again, the church is pretty much made out of the same materials as all the other buildings. They've added the hanging clock to make it look like the little tower up here. Yes, it moves. Yes, it kind of pushes into the thing, but if you can kind of get past that, it's a really fun idea. So look at this. I mean, you can see how they've even got like the framework of the roofing in place. All of the little pews made out of 2x4s. It's like one giant one for each end, and then 3 or 4 panels for the back and seats. And Mr. Giggle Me Gaffo, he's kind of like doing it ninja style. He's just kind of floating above there, but he's at the pew here. It's just curved wall and a couple of charming bars, top and bottom, decorated with a little bit of extra pillar just to kind of make it nice. Again, using those exile walls for the red carpet down the center. You know, you could easily dress this up and you know, set it up for like a wedding. You could, you know, stage a funeral in here for like Shades Eve time. could work on a lot of levels. But like for a wedding, you would like maybe add some like flower bits on each little pew end and have maybe a little flowered archway here. Lots of things you could do with that. And then I guess this is like a little meditation room or something. Sometimes I have a hard time figuring out what uses these rooms have, but you know, it could have been the preacher or pastor's office. It could be put some books in it, and that might be where they come and study or do like a little Sunday class or something. I don't know. But there you go. I think we hit all of the places. I'll take another look around the edge here. Got some really big trees here. Another little trap. I don't see anything else. I think we're just back at the front. Yep. Oop, missed that completely. But there you go. That is Ravenna Featherheart's Frozen Falls plot. I imagine that the Frozen Falls part is this bit back here. That's the closest thing I could see that looked like maybe some falls would be. But I didn't see any like icicle bits that was distinctly meant to represent like the water. But yeah, it's still a really awesome winter plot. Definitely a fun place to visit. Great ideas on building construction and uses of the fab kits and stuff. Now, if you do have a problem with how the fab kits, some of them don't actually blend in. I mean, this isn't an actual winter fab kit here. It's just a basic one. If you don't like that it's got all of this dirt showing, I saw one person use the frozen lakes. They just layered that, just sunk it down just enough so it kind of gave it a little bit of a snowy, icy ground. And yeah, it hides a little bit of the detail of the fab kit itself, depending on, you know, how bumpily it is. But it worked really good with hiding the brown. So if you have a winter plot and you're using a fab kit that doesn't exactly perfectly blend like this here, you might consider using like the frozen lakes or something as an option to maybe hide that up and kind of cover up the fact that it doesn't blend very well. It's like here, it's got that brown showing. I guess it would be kind of all right that it's doing it here because maybe there's a lot of, you know, a heat source or something inside and that's causing the snow to kind of melt off. But like for this one around the wishing well, that kind of probably could use that extra little bit. So just some food for thought to lay it down. I'll have to see if I can remember what plot that was. I don't think they were finished with it, so that's why it's not on my list, but it's just an idea. It's one way to kind of go about it. Might not work for all fab kits. I don't know if some of them still have the little boundaries around them, but especially for these type, the cosmetic versions shouldn't work. Shouldn't have any trouble with it. But that would be one way to kind of help blend it in, that kind of deal. Okay, so guys, I think that's it for today. I hope you had fun with taking a look at some of these newer ones and older ones alike. A lot of great ideas, fantastic landscaping, great meshing of the core. especially like, Oni's was some really weird combinations, but they worked. And again, it'll help give you some ideas, hopefully, for your own builds. Materials that you wouldn't consider, and you're thinking, maybe that actually work for what I'm trying to do. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Tomorrow we'll be here to do another Advent project. I will be posting today's shortly after we wrap up here. I guess I could show it. Kind of a goofy one. I'll just go ahead and show it real quick. But I will remind you that Friday I will not be here. I'm going to a Christmas party tomorrow evening with my mom-in-law, something I do every year, and we're usually out really late, and I just don't want to have the added pressure trying to get up early for the following day, so I'm going to just call it a 3-day weekend. As well, I will be taking off the 26th and 27th of this month, so when the Christmas holiday hits, we won't be picking things back up until the 28th, which is the Wednesday. We'll finish up on the things. So today's Advent is a holiday birdhouse. It's basically just the red rockets, the bottle rockets. It's just like one big one for the house part itself. And this part here is the dynamite stick, using it as the base. And I've used the snowy tree, the curved one, for all of my snow bits, just little clumps stuck on the roof, and then another one down here on the bottom. I'm using the frozen ledges for the bits on the little bird post thingy. And then graded floor panels, just a couple of them twisted to each other to make the little holes for the birdhouse. I wanted to give the roof some kind of a little extra something to it, so I used a number of domes just to give some little, I don't know, it's supposed to be like tiles, I guess. I don't have any idea what I was going with it, but that I left it. And of course, we have the little bluebird. I had actually wanted to make a red one, like a cardinal kind of thing, but then I thought that might be too much red. There's already quite a bit of red on it, so I figured, well, I'll go with the blue one. So he's just made up of 2 sporty spheres, a little bigger one for his belly area and then a smaller one for his head, vent tanks for his eyes, a yellow firework for his beak, and then I'm using the brambles. The side ones for his wings are the crawling version, and then the one for his little mohawk is the scrappy version. So hopefully it works okay. It's just supposed to be a little, I didn't want to stick completely with just your typical, ornaments and stars and things like that. I'm also looking for elements that can be considered a little project that maybe someone might could use to add to their house, like the mailbox that we did before, or the cookies and milk kind of thing. And the cookies and milk, you can use that year round. But for this, I thought it would be kind of cute to have a little birdhouse also kind of winterized. So yeah, so that's our Advent for today. We'll be doing another one tomorrow during the stream, and then the ones for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, of course, I will just be posting, and we'll go over those on Monday. But yeah, maybe it'll spur some ideas for you guys if you want to dress up your little personal residence homes, give them a little extra something. This is an idea, throw in a birdhouse of some sort. Yes, the little fuse is showing, but if you can kind of ignore that, it's not too bad, I think. If you really got to try and hide it, I would say maybe use some of that greenery like we did on the mailbox. and just kind of wrap it around and hope that you fix it just so that it's kind of hidden. That'd be the only way I can think of. I just figured it didn't need all of that, so I just left it with just little bits of snow, that kind of thing. So there you go. Yeah, he's really simple. He's and of course with the color shifting, you can make him all sorts of colors if you want different kinds of little birdies. So it's a really simple. He's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's like 8 pieces if you just want the little birdie. But yeah, with the color shifting and stuff, it should be great to, make a variety of little colorful birds. Maybe you want to make some little gilded cages or something and have these little birds in them or something. Or maybe you're designing a pet shop or whatever and you needed some little critters. So yeah, just kind of come up with him on a whim, and I'm kind of happy with how he turned out. So that's our Winterfest birdhouse for today's Advent. Okay, so now I'm going to let you guys go. And hopefully, again, you had fun. I appreciate the company, and of course, I sincerely appreciate the hosting, the follows, the tweets, the retweets, the votes. Just support in general has just been fabulous from you guys. I really appreciate it. It keeps me going, striving to come up with new and interesting things for you to kind of play around on your own plots. Again, we're open to questions. If ever I cover something or I don't cover something and you're interested about it and want to talk more in depth about it, and you can't make it to the live show, feel free to message me in game or via the forums or via Twitter or whatever way you want to contact me. I'm happy to answer questions at any time. Just trying to be helpful. I won't know it all, obviously. I'm, just as much kind of clueless as the rest of you on a lot of things, but if I can help, I will be happy to try. Again, a reminder, we are doing winter tours for the next couple of weeks, so if I haven't hit your plot and it's a winter plot and you'd like me to hit your plot, please give me a poke so I know that it's out there. Mostly I've just been relying on lists from last year's winter tours and my own random visiting to spot new ones. So there's no guarantee that I will actually come across yours, by accident. So if you want to make sure that it gets seen, or if you know somebody that's done a Winterfest plot that I haven't toured yet, please let me know. I'll be happy to add it to the list. If necessary, we'll go into January. It's no biggie. And of course, don't forget, we have the CBDC ongoing. The showcase is on the 30th, and we will be giving away some special exclusive decor packs to those who participate. So, like I said, I will be getting a, excuse me, a specific number of codes. If the number of codes I have is more than the number of participants we have, then everybody will be guaranteed a decor pack at least. But if it happens that we have more participants than codes, then obviously we'll go to a drawing type of scenario. But once your name is drawn, you don't get to get another one. I'm trying to spread it out as much as possible, so it's not like one person can win them all. You win once and that's it. So yeah, the theme is winter rides. We're looking for your ideas about the kinds of winter themed mounts you would like to see in games. So build it, show it to us, and we'll show everybody else, and that'll get you entered into the drawing on that day. You don't have to be present for the live stream to be eligible. As long as you participate, submit a project, your name will be entered. So it's all fair for everybody, and I'll of course reach out to the winners after the show to provide them the codes that they won. But yeah, just give me the information for that as to who it is, what it is, where it is, and we'll get that included. Maybe we'll have a build-off, and you guys can compete for. I definitely, if we don't have as many participants as I have codes, I'll have to figure out some clever ways of issuing out the leftovers. So maybe a build off will be actually something we do. I don't know. I wouldn't even know how to do that because, as far as I know, it's not possible to like have multiple people building on the same plot at the same time because the system only recognizes one. So your numbers will be going all kinds of wonky because someone else is fiddling with it. So I don't know how that would work, but it's one of those things I would love to be able to set up so that I can have split screen, to show multiple plots at the same time, but I have no idea how to do that kind of things. I'm lucky I get this to work as it is. So, anywho, if I don't see you guys tomorrow, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Like I said, I won't be here Friday, but we'll be back at it on Monday, if nothing else. So, have a great weekend. Good luck with your projects. And I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.